son of the king, whether you like it or not. The racism that Harry and Meghan have had to put up with from people like you for a long time, it's enough. You need to stop, and you need to be human about this matter. This man has done nothing but promote this country, even while living in America, with everything he's doing with his games. He's a proud Brit at the end of the day. And what you're doing is what the Daily Mail and the Telegraph do. You're doing this racial profile of Meghan and Harry. Can you remember what happened to his mother? How she was hounded? Yeah. It's disgusting. It really is. And I've got, Mike, now let me just say something. Sure. And this is coming from a place, you don't agree, but I really wish you well as a human being for what you've been going through. But just have a little bit of empathy for this man. It's enough now. We don't need this division anymore.
I've never made any racist accusations against any member of the royal family, no matter...
Well, you do. You do.
Ben, I'm sorry, you've got to withdraw that, Andrew. That's just an absolutely disgraceful statement, Mike, and you can't justify it. Mike. So please don't make that accusation.
Mike, you know what? Every time I hear you, and whenever it's got to do with anything with immigrants or Prince Harry or Meghan, you are always attacking without any substance at all. It's not right, Mike. When you go to hospital, I'm sure you get treated by immigrants.
I'm sorry, mate. You're way off beam here. You're way off beam. I've never made any racist accusations, and I have nothing against immigrants. Believe me.
You always do, and I just wish you could bring this down to a human level.
All right, Andrew.
Andrew absolutely cleared the deck when he went at Mike Parry, and honestly, it's about time someone said it out loud. He wasn't on TV begging everyone to bow down to Harry and Meghan or throw them a parade. Nobody is asking for uncritical fan mail here. He was literally just asking the press to do the bare minimum. Stop lying by omission and tell the actual whole story for once. Let's bring this down to earth. Imagine you're at work and you smash every single target. You help the team, you show up early, but you have one bad day or make one controversial choice. Then your manager goes on the company loudspeaker and only talks about that one thing, completely erasing everything else you did. You'd be furious. You'd be like, yo, can we look at the whole spreadsheet, please? That is exactly what the press is doing to Harry and Meghan. They crop out all the good stuff, all the charity work, all the wins, just so they can zoom in on the drama. Regular people aren't stupid. We know when a referee is secretly rooting for the other team. Andrew basically walked onto the field, blew the whistle, and told the media to stop rigging the game. It's not about giving the Sussexes special treatment. It's about demanding basic, street-level fairness. If you're gonna talk about them, put the whole story on the table, not just the messy parts you can sell for a click.
Let's talk about the total setup happening in these studio rooms, because certain commentators are out here running a complete kangaroo court. They don't care about timelines. They don't care about actual dates. They've already decided Harry and Meghan are guilty before the cameras even start rolling, and they'll bend any fact into a pretzel just to keep their outrage machine buzzing. Think about it like this. Imagine you're playing a game of pickup basketball. Before anyone even checks the ball, the other team's captain looks at you and says, "Yeah, you fouled me. You're a dirty player, and your shoes are ugly." You haven't even dribbled yet. The whistle is blown, the penalty is called, and you're just standing there holding the ball like, bro, we haven't even started the game. That is the exact trap the media lays down every single week. They write the angry headline on Monday, and then they spend the rest of the week ignoring any real evidence that proves them wrong. If Harry does something amazing, they find a way to make it look shady. If Meghan breathes wrong, it's a national crisis. Regular people see right through this petty behavior. When someone already hates you, you can't win. You could buy them a car and they'd complain about the color of the seats. That's what Harry and Meghan are dealing with. The media has their fake script ready to go, and they hate it when actual facts get in the way of a good hate session. It's totally rigged, and honestly, it's hilarious how desperate they look trying to keep the fantasy alive. The absolute funniest joke on television right now is watching these talk show hosts scream that Harry and Meghan are completely irrelevant. They're sitting there on primetime TV in front of millions of people, spending a whole hour talking about how much they don't care about the Sussexes. Like, look at the clock, bro. You've been ranting about them for 40 minutes straight. It is the ultimate toxic ex behavior. Imagine you have that one friend who swears up and down they are completely over their ex. Oh, I don't care about them. They're nobody. They mean nothing to me. Okay, cool. But then they talk about them at breakfast, track their location at lunch, and scroll through their Instagram feed all through dinner. You'd look at your friend and say, yo, you are obsessed. You are literally funding their whole ecosystem with your attention. That is the exact scam the media is pulling. They print front-page spreads, launch special live broadcasts, and manufacture endless online drama, all while telling the audience, gosh, we wish these two would just fade into the background. Let's be real, if Harry and Meghan were actually irrelevant, these studios would be dead silent. But the media knows the Sussexes are the ones paying the electric bill around there. They need that traffic. They need those hate clicks. Regular people get it instantly. You don't throw a massive 2-hour block party for people you claim you don't care about. The hypocrisy is loud, it's desperate, and honestly, Harry and Meghan are just living rent-free in their heads while the media keeps writing them checks.
Now, let's look at how the press completely blacks out the Invictus Games, because this is where the media's entire game plan falls apart. Harry built this massive global movement from the ground up to support wounded veterans. It's huge, it changes lives. It is a certified, undeniable win. But the tabloids? They treat it like a top-secret government file. They bury it on page 40, because acknowledging that Harry is actually out here doing incredible, selfless work totally ruins their favourite he's a traitor storyline. Think about that petty neighbour who hates your guts. You throw a massive charity block party, raise thousands of dollars for the local shelter, and clean up the entire street. Everyone is cheering, but that one neighbour refuses to look out the window and then goes on the neighbourhood Facebook group to complain that your car was parked 2 inches too close to the curb. That is exactly the level of hating we are talking about. It's wild. The media needs Harry to be the villain. If they admit the Invictus Games is a massive success, then they have to admit Harry is a good guy with a huge heart. And guess what? Good guys don't sell rage bait. Regular people look at Invictus and see real veterans getting a second chance at life. We see the real-world impact. Harry is moving way out here and changing the world, while the media is sitting in the corner trying to dim his shine because his success is totally inconvenient for their business model. They want dirt, but Harry keeps delivering gold. Let's get one thing straight about this security situation, because the media is treating personal safety like it's a VIP loyalty card or a bonus perk you get for being nice to the paparazzi. Like, oh, you left the family business? No protection for you. Hold up. Since when did not getting blinked out by a crazy mob become a luxury item? Safety isn't a trophy you win in a popularity contest. It's a basic human right. Think about it like this. Imagine you work a high-risk job, and then you decide to quit to start your own thing. But your old boss is so petty, he calls up the local police and says, yeah, don't patrol their block anymore. They don't work for me. Let whatever happens happen. You'd be like, are you insane? That is straight up malice. And let's add some real human reality to this. The man literally watched his mother get chased down by the exact same media machine when he was a kid. He has actual real-life trauma from what happens when the public obsession turns into a circus. This isn't a game to him. He's not asking for a gold-plated motorcade just to look cool. He's trying to make sure history doesn't repeat itself. Regular people get this instantly. You don't gamble with your family's lives just because the higher-ups are mad about your life choices. Harry is 100% right to stand his ground. You don't trade peace of mind for a headline, period. Let's talk about the massive double standard on this whole moving situation, because the media is treating Harry packing up his bags like he leaked state secrets or deserted the army. They are literally calling it a betrayal and saying he abandoned his country. Are you kidding me? The man just moved. Think about it down here in the real world. Millions of regular people pack up and move to a different city, a different state, or a whole new country every single day. Why? Because they want a better job, a safer neighborhood, or just some peace and quiet for their kids. If your cousin moves from London to California because the weather is better and the vibes are safer for the family, nobody stands on the porch throwing tomatoes at them calling them a traitor. You throw them a going away party and ask them to send pictures from the beach. But when Harry does it to protect his wife and kids from a toxic situation, the tabloids act like he threw a brick through the palace windows on his way out. It's wild. Since when is relocating for your family's mental health a crime? Regular people get it. You do what you gotta do for your household, period. You don't stay in a burning building just because the neighbors think the smoke looks pretty. Harry just did what any sensible person would do. He picked up his crew and found a better spot to live. The media needs to stop acting like he broke a blood oath and realize he just bought a plane ticket. Let's draw a line in the sand between actual news and just straight-up bullying, because what the press is doing to Harry and Meghan isn't journalism anymore. It's a coordinated hit job. Real commentary means you look at the facts, you check the data, and you give a balanced take.
But when you spend 100% of your time trying to tear down a couple's character while completely ignoring the real massive work they're doing, that's not a newsroom, that's a fan club for haters. Think about it like this. Imagine you have a coworker who checks every box, hits their numbers, and raises thousands of dollars for the office charity. But there's one person in the break room who ignores all of that and just spends all day whispering about how your coworker walks funny or how they don't like the look in their eyes. You'd look at that person and say, bro, you are obsessed. Get a hobby, go touch some grass. That is exactly the energy these royal experts are giving off. They've completely stopped pretending to report the news. They don't want to talk about the charity wins or the global impact because it completely breaks their little fan fiction storyline. Regular people can smell the bias from a mile away. We know the difference between someone giving an honest critique and someone who just wakes up every morning looking for a fresh reason to throw mud. Harry and Meghan are out here doing the actual legwork, while the media is just hiding behind a keyboard playing middle school mean girls. It's pathetic, it's lazy, and honestly, the audience is getting tired of the same old playground insults wrapped up in a fancy news broadcast. And that is the whole story, family. The moral of the lesson is simple. Stop letting messy people edit the spreadsheet of your life. Do your thing, look after your crew, and let the haters keep talking to an empty room. Massive love to all my returning viewers. You already know you're the backbone of this channel. And if you are new around here, welcome to the squad. Drop a comment, smash that subscribe button, and join the movement. I'm your host, Miles. Stay safe, stay real, and I'll catch you on the next one.